Hi, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to As I've Seen It. In the past couple of weeks, the toddler in the White House has gone from playing with his big boy trucks to firing off missiles. Now, Donald claims there are a couple of reasons why he did this. Reason one, he was so moved by what had happened to the children in Syria with this chemical attack by Bashar al-Assad. And his response was to go and bomb an airfield in Syria. If he were a true leader, if he were truly presidential, he would have instructed Customs and Border Patrol and the State Department to work as quickly as possible to get as many Syrian refugees into the United States as possible. Of course, the next reason for Donald was, gotta stop Bashar al-Assad, and these chemical attacks have to make it, impossible for him to do this again. Well, what they did was bomb an empty airfield and didn't bomb the chemicals, didn't bomb the planes that delivered them. Because I don't want to announce ahead of time what I'm going to do, I want to be unpredictable. Of course they called Russia before bombing Syria. So of course Russia told Syria they were bombing Syria. So they moved everything out of the way. The Trumpies didn't even blow up the runway. Within 24 hours of the Trumpies bombing that airfield in Syria, Assad was already launching attacks from there again. He not only launched attacks from there, they went back and bombed with conventional bombs the place where they had dropped chemical weapons just a few days before. I'm going to steal the words of Shakespeare and use them in a completely different context and say, "It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." So what did Donald Trump gain from all of this sound and fury, signifying nothing? Well, I'm going to tell you a few of the things that Donald gained. Thing one, Donald gained money. That's one of the things that almost nobody's talking about. We learned from disclosures back in 2015 that Donald owned stock in Raytheon. Raytheon is a massive defense contractor, and Raytheon makes the Tomahawk missiles, the 59 Tomahawk missiles that the US warships launched against this airfield in Syria. So the day after the bombings, Raytheon stock went up, which means Donald made money. Thing number two that Donald gained was distraction. The front page of every newspaper in the Western world on Friday morning said the US bombed Syria. That means they weren't covering or pushed aside coverage of, the Trump-Russia scandal. The fact that Devin Nunes had to step down as head of the House Intelligence Committee, at least for the Russia probe, because he has not only embarrassed himself, he may have committed a crime. Pushing aside the fact that Mitch the Turtle McConnell blew up the Senate, pushing aside the infighting between Bannon and Kushner, that Bannon got kicked off the Security Council. Thing number three that Donald's about to gain, higher poll numbers. Before this bombing in Syria, Donald had sunk to 34-35%. Shockingly low numbers. So it is an unfortunate fact that after a US president bombs something, his poll numbers go up. There is an entire faction of the American public that will not disparage a leader in what they consider wartime. So why else would Donald do this? I think he is so envious of Obama's poll numbers, of living in Obama's shadow, that he is trying to do everything to be the opposite of Obama. We saw that with the Yemen raid that happened at the end of January. 2013, Bashar al-Assad drops chemical weapons, and one of the loudest voices crying out on Twitter saying, "Leave Syria alone, stay out of there, don't go in, don't bomb them," Donald Trump. We have it in writing. His own words, stay out of Syria. President Obama got called all the names in the world for not going in and bombing Syria immediately after the chemical strike. President Obama did one of the wisest things he's ever done. He kicked it over to Congress because bombing Syria, bombing the Assad regime is an act of war. Bombing a sovereign nation. The president does not have the authority to do that unilaterally. All of those war hawks, all of those people now saying, yes, Obama should have done something. See, Trump did something. All of them, Jason Chaffetz, Marco Rubio, all of them said no. Now they're saying yes because it's Trump. Trump wanted to upstage Obama so much that they even tweeted out their own Situation Room picture. Remember the Situation Room photo with Obama and Hillary Clinton, his Secretary of State, and Joe Biden, his Vice President, when they went after Osama bin Laden? Picture seen around the world. Well, here's the Trumpy version of that. Problem is, the Vice President's not there. Who are all these financial people sitting around the table? And what the heck is Jared Kushner doing there? And notice that Steve Bannon is sitting in the back. Remember the beginning of last week when Trump was saying, if China doesn't do something about North Korea, the United States will. Warships on the way to North Korea. If this fool doesn't get all of us killed, it could be a miracle. We need to buckle up, all of us around the world. We may be in for a bumpy ride. Thanks for watching.